Hey guys, so today I actually decided to do an Empties video, and I saw these going around. I don't know if they're still, trending at the moment, but I decided to do one because I do have a few empty products that I maybe have shown you guys before that I love or have repurchased. Most of these I have repurchased, and I'd like to tell you guys about them and why they're all used up. So my first empty is my Boing concealer. As you can see, there's just a little rim of it around the edges. I actually had to get another one, and so I've had that one for a while, and I have just started using it because I'm trying to use all of this up before I use my new one, because I don't know, I just like to conserve this because it is a pretty high-end product from Benefit. But this is always my number one go-to concealer, so that would be why it is used up. I use this under my eyes, on my nose when it gets red, like on my chin sometimes, because sometimes by the end of the day my chin will be red. Maybe I rest my chin somewhere, I really don't know. But if I'm ever going to dance or something and need to just cover up stuff, I'm just oh, here, and it's amazing for blemishes too, and so I love this. And then next is my hair care, and this one is not completely gone. There's still a little sliver of it left at the bottom, but this is what I use always, and it is the Garnier Fructis Pure Clean Shampoo, and then the Garnier Fructis Triple Nutrition Conditioner. And these both smell to die for, and whenever I'll use this, I'm not even kidding, I'm not trying to brag, but I mean, my hair just smells amazing, obviously. But no, people will always comment and be like, wow, your hair smells really good. And I'm just like, well, I use Garnier Fructis, so you should get it. But really, these are amazing. The Triple Nutrition one is really Triple Nutrition, not just some kind of rip-off kind of thing. It actually is, and it moisturizes my hair so much. And I just got a haircut, and I hadn't gotten a haircut since October 2012. Sorry if you can hear my dog. And so my hairdresser was like, wow, I was actually expecting you to have a lot more split ends than this. And I was just like, well, I use Garnier Fructis, so I mean, obviously. But it does mend split ends, and it completely nourishes your hair, softens it and everything. And this is 94% biodegradable, and I just like it because it gets your hair, it gets all the grease out of your hair, and it's just really good. And so I always use these up. This is completely deflated. I always use these up, and then I'll repurchase them. So it's kind of like a empties and then I repurchase it video. They're not just empty because I always repurchase them. Next, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before, but it's my Tarte Amazonian Clay foundation in the shade Fair. And this is my everyday foundation, especially for in the winter, because my shade Fair does go really light, and not a lot of foundations will go that light, but this does for even when in wintertime when I get even paler. And so I love this, and it's completely deflated, and I have to buy a new one. But this also has SPF 15 in it too, and it's also super full coverage, so it's good for me being a pale poop, and it's good for covering up all of my blemishes and everything. So I always use this up until it's completely gone, and then I'll repurchase it. So this is another one of my empties. Next is one of my favorite MAC eyeshadows, and it looks like this. And as you can see, I've completely, only the rim is left. I hit pan forever ago, and you can't even see what it says on the back anymore because it's so, torn up. But this is the color Retro, and I'm gonna try to put this up pretty close for you guys. Okay, so this color is a super neutral light gold, and it's really blendable and nice, and it's a great everyday color. So that's why it's so used up, is because I used to use this on my lid all the time before I used it all. But if I was to repurchase another MAC eyeshadow right now, it would definitely be this, because this is my favorite thing ever, and it's probably one of my, it is my number one MAC eyeshadow, and so I love this color. It's so universal, and I would definitely recommend this if you're used to doing a neutral look. It's not that noticeable at all. It's just a really nice looking light color. And next is of course my Urban Decay Primer Potion. I have to buy a new one of these right now. I'm getting so frustrated because every day I just squeeze out the littlest bit trying to conserve it, because I hate the new packaging. I think I've talked about it before. This is an Eden, by the way, because I like to match my foundation color to my lids, and so this is kind of concealing two of my veins. But I hate the new packaging because obviously they're doing it so you just use more product, and that just frustrates me so much, because they used to have the little wand and you could just dab it, but now I always squeeze out too much, and so I just buy this crazy, and this is $18, so it's kind of annoying to just having to repurchase. But I mean, it lasts me a really long time, don't get me wrong, but it's just annoying to keep repurchasing it. but I mean, I wouldn't buy anything else because this is my #1 eyeshadow primer. Like, I would never use, I just dropped it, but I would never use anything else. This is like my gold right here, my gold in a squeezy tube. And then next it's actually another foundation, and it's my Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation. I used this in that prom video that I did doing my friend's makeup, and this just gives such a nice look, and it's also super full coverage, but it's kind of just too dark for me, and so I used all of this up like over the summer and stuff. But when I get even paler than I normally am, like you can see I'm like a sheet, like I get like this pale in the winter, but in the summer I at least get like a little bit darker, and so I'll use this because it's not as light as the Tarte foundation. And this actually isn't, I wouldn't say that this is as heavy as the Tarte foundation. That's a lot more full coverage. This is also full coverage, but it's like luminous, and that's what it says on here. It's luminous. It's like kind of shiny, not shiny where you're like, ew, like I look gross. Like, it has a nice glow to it. It makes your skin glowy, and I'm in the shade Cream Ivory. Also the lightest shade, but their lightest shade is too dark for me. What a shock. But yeah, I used all this up, so I'll definitely be repurchasing this over the summer unless I find like a better foundation to use over the summer, but this was always my go-to one. Last but not least is my Holy Grail powder, and this is my Neutrogena Shine Control Powder. This is actually not gone. I just hit pan on it because, okay, I hit pan on this every 3 weeks. I'm not kidding. That is how fast I go through powders, and that is how oily my skin is. Like, I repurchase this like a mad woman because this is the only thing that has ever worked for my oily skin, and I reapply this probably like 3 or 4 times a day at school, and people are probably like, wow, she's so annoying putting on her makeup in class. You know what? This is an invisible powder. I'm not like reapplying anything. Well, I am reapplying my powder, but I'm trying to look a little less oily, okay? Gotta keep the face looking nice and matte. But I use this on, if anybody like asks me for a powder to make them less oily, I recommend this. If I'm ever trying to make myself not oily, I use this. Always, always. This is the best thing to ever happen to me ever. And I know it's kind of annoying that it's not actually empty, but it will be in about a week, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to get better about not using as much of it, but I mean, it's just like my #1 thing that I use. It's my #1 product next to my primer potion. Those are like the things that I use all the time. Same with my Tarte foundation. That's like my everyday skin look every single day. And sometimes at school I won't like wear blush or anything. I don't have any empty blushes because I don't use blush like that often, especially during the school year, but only for like when I want to do my blush, or if I'm like, wow, I'm looking really pale. I'm going on a rant right here. I was talking about my powder, but yeah, I would never buy anything else other than this because this is just my baby. Really nice. That is my last empty things that I've used up. I hope that this is like going around still and people are still doing this because I had fun doing it, and you guys should do it. And if you do, leave a video response of what is empty in your makeup collection or your hair care collection, because of course I included those. But anyways, I enjoyed filming this a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. But this also has SPF 15 in it for your face, so it's good for me being